All right, started recording. Your turn.
Do you want to put on full screen?
I am clicking. Here we go.
It's just Teams, it's just slow. Okay, welcome to the Languages Mentoring Network VLMN information session. As we begin today's session, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land which we are meeting on today and pay my respect to elders past, present and emerging, and to any Aboriginal people who may be with us today. This picture is of Lake Macquarie, home of the Awabakal people, the lands from which I am presenting today.
And I will add here that I'm presenting from Darawal country. I'm in sunny Coda Heights in Wollongong today.
Firstly, I would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Chanel Ingram and I'm a language officer with the Languages and Culture team. My colleague Evia Kiriakou is a language advisor with the Languages and Culture team. Both Evia and I have been involved with the VLMN program in varying roles since the beginning of the VLMN in 2017. We now oversee the program. In this session, participants will enhance their understanding of what the VLMN is, who can be involved in the VLMN, and benefits of being involved in the VLMN. The Virtual Languages Mentoring Network supports the well-being and professional growth of early career languages teachers. It has been a highly valuable and popular program of the Languages and Culture team since 2017. The Languages and Culture team supports beginning language teachers 7 to 12 through the VLMN. A beginning teacher is one in their first 5 years of language teaching. The VLMN provides targeted support over an 18 to 24-month period with beginning teachers, mentees, matched to experienced teachers, mentors on a 2-to-1 ratio. The first cohort of the VLMN ran in 2017 to 2018. The second cohort will finish up this term and was run from 2019 to 2020. We are currently advertising for expressions of interest for mentors and mentees to join us for the 2021-2022 cohort. Let's look at the aims of the program. The VLMN program provides early career language teachers with an experienced language-specific teacher mentor, supports the development of trusting, productive, and mutually beneficial professional relationships, encourages critical conversations and self-reflections, develops the professionalism of teachers as they work towards best practice and accreditation, provides high quality, relevant and evidence-based professional learning, develops and supports robust professional networks, promotes teacher well-being and work-life balance, and fosters a growth mindset. The VLMN is strongly aligned with departmental objectives, priorities, and policies. Firstly, it aligns with the department's Strategic Plan 2018 to 2022. Every student, every teacher, every leader, and every school improves every year. Involvement in the VLMN program will improve the skills and confidence of beginning language teachers by building their professional capacity, which in turn will have a positive effect on student engagement and outcomes. Mentors will develop their leadership skills and share their expertise with their mentees. Secondly, the Rural and Remote Education Blueprint. The program aims to provide specific support to early career secondary language teachers who often work in isolation in their school. Geographical isolation can also have an impact on the professional development of these teachers. The VLMN aims to develop effective partnerships and provide quality professional learning for all participants. And lastly, great teaching, inspired learning. The VLMN aligns with the Great Teaching Inspired Learning Blueprint by supporting early career teachers to transition into the profession smoothly and continue to learn through observing their mentors and holding professional conversations about their practice. Mentors are given opportunities to demonstrate practice at the higher levels too and use it as part of their evidence set. I will now hand over to Evia to continue.
Thank you. So who the mentee should be? So a mentee, as Chanel mentioned earlier as well, is Chanel, can you handle the thank you. Sorry, because I can't see the team anymore. A mentee should be someone in their first 5 years of teaching.
Evia, you've been muted, I think.
Okay,
Thank you for muting me, Chanel.
that's okay. Things I do in the middle.
Okay. Now let me find my spot again. So did you hear anything about this slide? Okay, so a mentee should be someone in their first 5 years of teaching languages. Someone who has at least a 50% of full-time load in languages. And so not, if you're only teaching one class, for example, over a week, it needs to be 50% of the full-time load. And also we would like it to be in a permanent or long-term temporary position because we support the school to support you. So, and your principal needs to endorse the application. Okay, a mentor should be an experienced and committed language teacher. They should have more than 5 years full-time language teaching experience, and they should be teaching at least 75% of a full-time load in languages. What is involved in the VLMN? The VLMN program starts with a conference in a central location, usually, it was in Sydney, and from now on it will be in Parramatta because that's where our offices are located, where all the participants come together to meet, learn about mentoring and the VLMN program and undertake targeted professional learning. We have actually already booked the conference, the first one for 2021. And it is in, Chanel, was it February?
No, I think it's is it March 17th, 18th, 16th, 17th, 18th of March?
Week 6, something like that.
Something like that.
We've got two things happening. One
We've
in
got
week
lots
4,
of things
one in week
going on.
6. We get them confused.
I'll put the dates in there. I'll put the dates.
But the
down.
dates are right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. There is a mid-program conference also. So halfway through, it's to check in, see if everything is running smoothly, if anyone needs extra support. And that conference is, to ensure that we continue with the goals, and we also complete targeted professional learning. So, for example, at our most recent conference, which this time was held online due to obvious reasons, the participants attended sessions on career progression, brain breaks, making learning stick, and quality teaching with Yasadai Salvakamaran. Then we have observation visits. So during the 18 to 24 month period, VLMN mentees and mentors visit each other to observe each other's practice. They also use that as an opportunity to evaluate each other's learning and teaching programs and program together even. Mentors and mentees communicate with each other and the program organizers as required as well. So ongoing communication is vital for the duration of the program as everyone is so far away from each other, and just so we can ensure maximum support. And all communications between mentors and mentees are logged in for records. So far, we've had a shared Google Drive where everyone, every mentor-mentee pair had a folder dedicated to them. From next year, we're going to move on to Teams because the department, everything that we do now is moving on to the Microsoft area. So moving away from Google for some reason. Okay, and lastly, we have term meetings. So these are also vital within the program. And these term meetings are initiated by us. And it's just like a touch-in to see how everyone is going, if they need any extra support from us, if they have any questions. Okay, so the conferences that I spoke about, they're a key component of the program. The initial conference is where mentors and mentees meet and also develop a thorough understanding of the program and expectations. We have mentors and mentees from across many languages with varying degrees of experience and expertise and from varying contexts. The conferences are great ways to network with each other and with other teachers besides your mentor or your mentee. We have held conferences in Sydney, Terrigal, and online recently due to COVID. It is hoped that we will be able to hold, as I said, our 2021 conference face-to-face in Parramatta. I think we're going to mention this a little bit later, but for these conferences, all expenses are taken care of by the Languages and Culture, by the department. So we pay relief to your school plus flights and accommodation as needed. So obviously, if you live in Sydney, we're not going to pay you for any flights or accommodation, but people who are coming from rural areas, definitely we support them in that. So just a few pictures there, happy snapshots from observation visits, which are a key component of the program. These visits are reciprocal with mentors visiting mentees and mentees visiting mentors. During these visits, participants can observe each other's teaching, evaluate learning and teaching documents, create programs, discuss teaching strategies, and so on. These visits are fully funded, including the travel and accommodation as required. So during 2020, some of these observation visits became virtual due to COVID, but it's hoped again that they can occur with a new cohort next year. Here's a few more happy snaps. We've had teachers involved from all across New South Wales, from Broken Hill in the west to Lightning Ridge in the north to Albury in the south, along with many teachers from schools right up and down the coast. Supporting the well-being and professional growth of early career languages teachers knows no boundaries for us. We're committed to early career teachers everywhere. The VLMN is open to teachers of all languages offered in New South Wales public high schools. Here is a snapshot of responses from teachers who are currently participating in the VLMN program on the importance the program has had on them and their career. So I'll give you a moment to read through these responses. So as you can see from these responses, the VLMN has had a positive impact on participants in a broad range of areas. The Languages and Culture team provides many opportunities for teachers to become involved in our programs. 3 of our major projects are the LANG, which is the Languages Advisory Network Group, the VLMN, and Language Teacher Networks. As you can see from this slide, many teachers who have been involved in our programs have moved into a leadership position. These numbers include relieving or acting leadership roles. The LANG and the VLMN projects, together with the network leaders, provide many skills that support you in your career progression. And just some food for thought. MNT from 2017, so the initial cohort of the VLMN, has been in an acting head teacher wellbeing role for over a year now. So, and the current VLMN cohort has very similar statistics, and we're very proud that we can provide language teachers with skills and professional learning that builds their capacity as teachers and leaders. So just to go through this slide again, it shows that 8 out of the 12 people who've been involved with the LANG have had relieving or acting positions. or permanent head teacher positions. 7 out of the 13 VLMN mentors have gained leadership positions, and 6 out of the 19 network leaders. So, you can see it as another opportunity. This is particularly for mentors to progress, to use it as a progression in your career. So involvement in the VLMN supports teachers at all stages of the accreditation process through providing registered professional learning. Teacher observations and mentoring can be logged as teacher identified professional development, and teachers will also have opportunities to lead their colleagues in professional development if they choose to, which can support teachers considering accreditation at highly accomplished or lead levels. Most of our conferences provide registered professional learning. So for example, the first conference, which is 3 days for mentors and 2 days for mentees, are usually fully registered professional learning. How can you get involved, you're asking? I can hear you ask. So to apply to be a member of the VLMN in a mentee or mentor capacity, you need to complete an EOI and have it endorsed by your principal. To access the EOIs, visit our blog or our statewide staff room on Yammer. They're also available on this week's School Biz edition. So please raise your hand if you have any questions, or you can just type it in the chat pod. Thank you very much for attending today. And we'll just take questions now.
Or you can unmute yourself as well. Oh, I've got Sasha typing. She says it seems very clear and she will be applying. Thanks, Sasha. That's good.
Excellent. So did we say applications close on the 11th of December?
Yeah, that's correct.
So then we can have the last week of school to work out to go through the EOIs, and then we'll get back to you early next year.
Yep, and Adele says, looks like a fantastic program. Thanks, Chanel and Evia. Because can you see the chat pod?
Yes, I can now.
Oh, you can see now. Okay.
No, that's okay.
And Tommy says, for both mentor and mentee, correct?
That's
so Tommy, that's right. Yep. So just make sure that when you put your application in, you send your EOI, and if you're applying to be a mentor, that use the mentor EOI, and if you're applying to be a mentee, to use the mentee one. And it just must be signed by your principal. Yep. Yes, December 11th is the due date for the EOI. That's correct, Tommy. It's a great program. As I said, I have been involved since the beginning as a mentor, then a lead mentor, and now, as a language officer with the languages and culture team. So I highly recommend it.
She can't get away from the VLMN.
Can't get away.
Neither can I. No. And that's where we met back in 2017. We started as mentors, both of us.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Sue, sorry, I'm going down. Rebecca said great opportunity for all involved. Thanks. And Sue, can I double check that this is only for full-time and permanent language teachers?
No, if you're in a long-term casual position, like a temporary position, you're eligible to apply. But as we said, this is a 2-year program, so it would help if you are in the same school for the 2 years. Yes.
Jeanette,
I am just getting the link now. As I said, the EOIs can be found on School Biz or in Languages New South Wales.
The blog.
Yammer. Yes, the blog.
And Yammer.
Yep. I just put the link there to the blog.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there scope for me to chat with you further? Yes, definitely, Alyssa.
Of course.
Yeah, give us a ring at any time.
Yep.
During business hours.
Business hours. Otherwise, we might be at the beach or shopping or something.
No, we won't answer. There you go. I'll just put my phone number there, Alyssa, if you want to give me a ring tomorrow.
Jenny, I believe I was involved possibly in the beginning, but unfortunately my mentee had to pull out of the program. I'll seriously consider applying again for next year. Yeah, that's great.
Do.
Yeah.
I thought I remember your name. Yeah. The same question as
Yeah.
Diana.
Ideally, we try and match people with the same language, but in some very rare cases where we're unable to find don't have a mentor for a mentee in a certain language, then we may need to find just an experienced teacher. And we've found that often, even though they may not have the same language match, that you can still gain a lot of benefits from having an experienced teacher mentor. But yeah, ideally, we like to match the same language.
Yeah. Sometimes it's, as Chanel said, it's difficult to find exact matches. So, but we're really lucky in New South Wales that we have syllabuses that are the same across all languages. So they're based on a framework, whether we're talking about the stage 4 and 5 or the stage 6 syllabuses, they're all practically the same because they're based on the same framework. So even if your mentor does not speak the same language as you, the support that they provide you is around programming and around assessment and scope and sequences. So they're all done in English. The outcomes are all the same. It doesn't matter if they can't give you language specific support. You can get that in different places.
And we would like to, if we had a mentee apply who was in a language that we didn't have a mentor for, we wouldn't like to say, sorry, you can't become part of the program because we don't have a mentor. So in some cases, we just need to be flexible, of course.
Curtis has a question as well. Yes, Curtis, you will need the new principal's approval because that's the school we're going to be paying the relief to when you need to attend different things.
And they'll have to release
He's the one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to have stage 6 classes.
No.
Yep. I will stop recording now.
There's lots going on in the chat.
Yes. You can unmute yourselves and talk to us.
You can talk. You can even show us your faces.